Hi guys, so Michael Gove was in Parliament today to talk about why he believes it would not be necessary or it would be unwise to extend the Brexit transition period. So let's hear what he had to say.
The Welsh Assembly Government, Labour, want an extension, and the Mayor of London, Labour, want an extension, but the position of the Labour leader himself is not clear on this matter. Perhaps the member for Sheffield Central will enlighten us. It is also the case that the Scottish National Party is clear in its view that there should be an extension. The Democratic Unionist Party is also clear in its view that there should not be. So every party in this House has a clear position, either for or against, apart from the Labour Party. Again, we may have that point elucidated, but the reason why I think we shouldn't have an extension is if we did, we'd end up paying the EU more money, which we could spend on our own NHS. We'd have to pay...
Sorry, what? The F? So I'm trying not to swear here. Really, have I just stepped into a time machine? Has Marty McFly brought me back to 2016 here? Where we have Michael Gove talking about not spending money on the EU, but spending it on the NHS. The same Tory government that has cut the NHS over the last 10 years. The same Tory government that has borrowed £300 billion to deal with the coronavirus outbreak. The same Tory government that's saying we need not to spend £4 billion, or give £4 billion to the EU, but it's okay to borrow £300 billion for coronavirus, and it's okay to cut funding for 10 years to the NHS. I'm sorry, is there going to be commissioned another big red bus with let's spend £300 million on the NHS going to be travelling around the country? Really, have we stepped into a time machine? Has 2016 returned to avenge Brexit or something?
For continued membership, we would be subject, and I should say, we won't know how much that is. The thing we know is that it will be more than we currently pay on an annual basis. It will also be...
Jesus Christ, and why do you think you're paying? Because you asked for the extension. You can walk away if you want, but you asked for the extension. The UK asked for the extension. It was agreed with the European Union, an extension. You asked for it and you got it. You can walk away if you want, but you need the extension in order to work out a trade deal. Now, if there's you're talking about having a trade deal. You said you want a trade deal. I don't believe you do, but you're saying you want a trade deal in the same, a Canada-style trade deal or a Japanese-style trade deal in less time than they were able to achieve it. And you don't want to extend in order to get that. And what's this thing about being aligned with European laws? Are we back to 2016 again?
The case that will be subject to rules shaped at a European level in which we will have no say, which will constrain our capacity to respond not just to the coronavirus crisis, but to other coming economic challenges.
Am I really hearing this? This is the same government that was given the possibility. The European Union reached out to them and said, do you want to work with us in order to order PPE and ventilators? And your government said, no, go to hell. We're not even going to answer your response. We're going to do it ourselves. And we're not going to do it because we're going to make a complete ass of ourselves, and we're going to throw tens of thousands of British people under a bus to score some political points. It's ridiculous.
And it will be, of course, the case that during that period, the decisions that will be made by the EU 27 entirely legitimately will be in their interests and not necessarily in ours. And that's...
So the EU is going to look after itself. Well, you're not going to look after the UK. You've demonstrated that. You've thrown almost 40,000 British citizens under a bus. Those people are dead because of your decisions. Your party decided these things. Your party ignored the advice. Your party was given help, was offered help to deal with this crisis, and you refused it for political reasons. And now you're talking about let's not be bound to European rules. Let's not pay £4 billion. He didn't say, of course, the money. Let's not spend £4 billion to the for access to the European market that would actually help our economy. No, we want to leave without a deal. And at the same time, we want to borrow £300 billion to deal with this crisis.
That's why I think an extension would be unwise, and it would certainly run counter to the clearly expressed view of the British people when they elected my honourable friend, the member for Uxbridge and South Ruislip Prime Minister, on a manifesto that clearly spelled out that we would leave the European Union's transition period at the end of this year.
This is an attempt to change the narrative. Let's stop talking about the coronavirus. Let's start talking about Brexit, because the idiots who voted for us want us to return to Brexit. We've destroyed the economy. We've destroyed tens of thousands of lives. And it's creating a problem for us because the voters are losing interest in us. The voters are becoming disappointed with us. So we need to return to the star issue, the one that we won the election on, Brexit. And we have to play tough. We have to play like we're the tough guys in this situation. We knew we were able to con people with this issue. So now we have to go back to that issue in order to con people once again. Boris Johnson is losing support, but he knew, well, if I throw Brexit out, the red meat of Brexit to my supporters, they'll forget about the numbers of people dying every day. Hundreds of people dying every day because of this guy, him and his government's ridiculous decisions. The fact that Boris Johnson ignored this crisis from the beginning and then used a ridiculous whack-a-mole approach to in an attempt to defeat the virus. And now hundreds of people are dying every day, and you're talking about reopening the economy, reopening society, when it's not safe, where more people are going to get infected. And it's a complete and utter failure. And what are you doing in order to distract? Let's talk about Brexit again. Because we know it will win us votes, it will return some support that we've lost over the coronavirus. This is ridiculous. It's disgusting, and I hope anyone who's a member of his constituency, anyone who voted for this charlatan, will decide, Michael Gove, I don't want to see you anymore. You deserve to lose your seat. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. As always, much appreciated. But this evening, I'm extremely angry. Once again, they're attempting to resurrect Brexit because they think it will save their arses. And it's disgusting, and it's an affront to the people who have died and their families who have suffered because of their mismanagement of this crisis. Why not become a Patreon and enjoy access to our Discord server where we share news, chat, and have some fun? If you become a patron, you can also make video suggestions on topics that are important to you. Check it out via the link in the description.